Aw, bro, you made it! Yep, I got all of them, enough to last through the 31st before midnight. Why did you sack them like that? I could've lent you a hand. Because Halloween towers are cool. Okay, that does sound very cool.
You're not Sylvia. You're one of the kung fu creatures on the rampage 31!
Hey, did you ever watch some of these anime Halloween specials? Some of them, yeah. Remember the Halloween tree with Leonard Nimoy, where he took those kids on a trip to the past to find their friend by learning about the history of Halloween? I think so, yeah. Oh, it's so good. I get chills of hearing and seeing Mountroutt, and I did learn the truth about witches, why they're called that, and what do gargoyles do at the cathedrals. Interesting. Remember Mickey's House of Villains, where all the Disney villains took over the House of Mouse? They even made a song about it? Dude, that's Pete's House of Villains. What? Pete's House of Villains, not Mickey's. No, it was Mickey's. It's Pete's. It's Mickey's. There's a big difference. Or how about Grinch Night, where the kid Euchariah faced the Green Menace in his wagon and Pop goes these weird nightmarish Seuss creatures? Oh, those were amazing. They were scary. I loved it. Hey, you want to see something really scary? Sure. Okay. Why are you curled up like that? Ow!
You unlock this mirror with a key to your imagination. Behind it is another dimension. A dimension of madness. A dimension of wonder. A dimension of time. You're about to move into the shadows of curiosities and ideas as they embrace the Halloween spirit. You just fell into Cyber-Wonderland After Dark. You are about to follow a man named Mad Hatter Patrick who reviews anything related to animation. He is ready for his first Halloween review of the year, but the more he looks over it, the more he's about to go on a mad road trip in Cyber-Wonderland After Dark.
Greetings, Morticias and Gomez's. This is Mad Hatter Patrick. And guess what? Halloween's emerging, and it's time to bring on the tricks and treats, the Boyles and Ghouls, the Freddys and Jasons. So how about we celebrate this year's Halloween by talking about the mysterious and spooky family and their sequels, the Addams.
The Addams Family is one of the most iconic TV shows of all time. Originally debuted as a cartoon panel by Charles Addams, it transcended into a popular sitcom, some live-action movies, cartoons, and even video games. The gimmick is that the family is an odd family that embraces the ghoulishness and are unaware nor unconcerned of their extreme measures and the people's reactions to them and calling them weird. For my connection with the Addams Family, I am familiar of who they are, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I did watch one of their live-action films, a few episodes of the 1990s cartoon, one of which they did a crossover with Scooby-Doo, and I do enjoy singing their iconic theme song, bum 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 bum, snap snap. But I'll give them this family is mad. In the year 2019, the Addams Family returned to the entertainment industry with an MGM animated film, and the results were a double-edged sword. On one side, it did become a financial hit with a total of $203.7 million against its $24 million budget, which spawned a sequel 2 years later. On the other hand though, it has been considered by many Addams Family fans to be one of the weakest additions to the Addams brand for being one of those trendy kids movies like Hotel Transylvania, filled with pop songs and cultural references.
I kinda have a soft spot with the first anime movie.
Look, I'm not brainwashed, and I know it's not perfect, and I've seen other Addams Family stuff that are better than this, but I remember having a fun, spooky time with the Addams Family with good voice acting, the design of the family, the visuals, and some good humor.
Seeing how I find the Transylvania movies either boring or forgettable, I kinda prefer the first AA movie out of any of them.
But back in 2021, the Addams returned with a sequel in theaters and an online rental. But the real question is, was it able to conjure up a creepy and kooky film that we want to see from the family?
Welcome to another episode of Wonder Reviews. Let's take a look what kind of kookiness they brought up with a snap of their fingers. This is The Addams Family 2.
The parents, Goman and Morticia, played by Oscar Isaac and Charlize Theron, are sensing that the kids are distancing themselves from them, but mostly Wednesday, played by Chloe Grace Moretz. So they decide to go on a road trip for some family bonding. but there's this moody lawyer voiced by Wallace Shawn that wants to apprehend Wednesday because, according to his client's report, that she may not be biologically linked to the Addams family. Oh, we're going in this dumb direction. This is the movie I was concerned the most when it comes to making an animated Addams Family movie. There is no hiding that the main plot is the true train wreck of the sequel. You got the Wednesday plot where it tries and fails to convince the audience that she may not be an Addams after all. It makes the story painfully predictable. Not the kind that's so painful it's good, it's so painful it's boring. Even if you haven't watched anything Addams Family related, you can still figure out Wednesday's true identity easily. Not even the road trip can make things interesting. I know the family had done this before, like in their cartoon show, just to show they can bring their macabre lore to the outside world, but the problem is that none of these locations scream this is somewhere the Addams would go. These are the places that any normal family can visit on their trip, and no matter where they go, they don't really build a connection between Gomez, Morticia, and Wednesday. If you remove the Addams family out of the equation and replace them with another family, the film becomes nothing but a generic road trip movie. There are other side plots in it, like Pugsley trying to get a girlfriend and Grandmama hosting a house party while the family's away, but none of them contribute anything about Wednesday's plot or even the road trip. However, there is something I have to ask and answer on what made me have a good time from the predecessor. Is it at least funny? Technically yes and no. There are some chuckle-worthy moments and it tries to embrace the Addams kookiness, but that's about 30% of it. The other 70% is filled with dumb pop songs, lack of substance, and a lot of bad pop culture references.
But going back to the Wednesday plot, whenever they bring it up, it feels forced and involves the Addams family to lay low and hide for a while, which none of these places feel private because everyone can see them. And this hunt ends up letting the Addams family not be the Addams family, both as ghouls and iconic characters.
With a sequel that's badly written as this, don't expect these familiar characters to be interesting or even spooky. They have a one-dimensional trait you can find in any family movie, or just have them appear in a small scene. Yes, the acting is good, but it's not enough to save the Addams family based on the material and script they were given. Gomez and Morticia are the worrying parents that want to spend some quality time with the kids on the trip, but mostly Wednesday. Pugsley is the exploding demolition expert that wants to have a girlfriend, and the others like Lurch, Thing, Grandmama, and Cousin It are the comic reliefs where half of them appear less on screen or help the family's trip. And then there's Wednesday, the intelligent yet sinister girl that feels like she doesn't fit into her own family and may not share the same bloodline. Or does she? Maybe she does. Yeah, next you'll be telling me she's Ella's cousin. I know her character as a whole that she has a deadpan personality with a sick sense of humor, but the way she interacts with her own family in order to show some love, she ends up not growing a bond with them at all. And it's not some sort of Addams metaphor where she hates them on the outside but secretly loves and cares about them on the inside. She just wants nothing to do with them. The only member of the family that does seem to be enjoyable is Uncle Fester, played by Nick Kroll. He has the best jokes, performances, and the gags involving his squid transformations from the science fair are unique and fun. Even when the family is blindly cool throughout his face, the reactions are something I totally believe what the Addams will respond to. As for the new characters, they are just a bunch of forgettable obstacles and villains that don't offer anything interesting but get in the way of the Addams family macabre comedy. Mr. Musella is the lawyer that is after the family, Pongo is the Lurcher ripoff, and Cyrus is the scientist from the beginning of the film that is interested in Wednesday's science experiment, which makes his one-dimensional role predictably obvious. Yet his motive regarding the experiment is either confusing or I just end up not caring about any of it. Perhaps even both.
It's kind of ironic, really. For a road trip about bonding, I don't feel a strong connection to almost all these characters. Okay, I know it looks like I want to send this sequel to the Electric Guillotine. Is there anything else good about the animation? Well, good is too nice of a word, so let's say adequate.
There are a couple of things in the animation that does look nice for an animated Addams Family movie. One of the portions in the animation that maintains the Addams Family cadaverous feel is the character animation. No matter if it comes from the family or outside of them, they do present some fun cartoonish moments which translate well into CGI. These moments include Wednesday tormenting Pugsley with a voodoo doll, Uncle Fester's squid behavior, and the climax involving two hybrid animal monsters. This is all thanks to some of the visual effects whenever Pugsley blows stuff up, Wednesday conjures up some potions and other abilities, or when Grandmama livens up the house party. Which sadly, this is where the good points in the animation end. When it comes to the character designs, the Addams do look great and nearly resemble the illustration in other incarnations of the series, but then you got the people outside of them. Whether they're from the predecessor or the sequel, they look like a Despicable Me prototype where some of them look like mannequins with bobbleheads. Which doesn't help the purpose of the Addams Family that they are supposed to be the most abnormal family on the planet. Another problem with the visuals, especially for a road trip movie, are the backgrounds. No matter where they go on the map, none of these places look grand or amazing, and you can't even buy that this is the vacation the Addams would go to. In places like Niagara Falls, Miami, the Alamo, and the Grand Canyon, they're just generic landmarks or landscape that just shows a waterfall, a beach, a motel, and a canyon, and nothing else special. Not even some hijinks from the family can influence anybody to go to these places. They lack some sort of substance. And the places you do see the Addams going, like Sleepy Hollow and Death Valley, they just show a campsite in the woods or a bar. And Cyrus's laboratory at the end of the film is just a generic futuristic building.
The whole point of a road trip is to influence everyone, specifically the audience, on why should we go to these places. They could have done anything else to these locations, like show more Miami besides the beach, or better yet, send the Addams to locations that fit their traditions so we can join the trip. Show more Sleepy Hollow, the original destination, Salem, or even send them to the Bermuda Triangle. All this road trip and the sequel did is make me act like Wednesday and not care a single bit about this movie.
The Addams Family 2 is one of the worst anime sequels that made the enjoyable, kooky Addams Family into a boring family film. The plot is dull and painfully predictable, the animation, although passable, does not embrace the ghoulishness, and the characters are uninteresting or just not funny. Unless you are a major fan of the 2019 anime film, don't watch this Addams movie. Stick with the live-action films, the TV shows, and the other cartoons. And there are plenty of fun road trip family comedies like A Goofy Movie, The Mitchell vs. the Machines, and National Lampoon's Vacation where you'll definitely have a blast. I may have a decent time with the first animated Addams Family movie, and I was hoping movie number 2 would fix some things to make it better, but all it did is just leave the mess where it is, make it look bigger, and give the Addams some limitations, which is something an Addams would never do. And that's why the sequel has been slipped down to a D and will enjoy spot treatment at the flames of failure.
I'm sorry that we had to start Cyber-Wonderland After Dark on something unscary and monotonous, and the Addams deserve much better than this. Hopefully the upcoming Netflix series can bring back the dark comedy people remember from the franchise dearly. And once again, let the Addams Family be the kooky Addams Family. No excuses whatsoever. But I can guarantee you, for the rest of October, we will review more fun Halloween tunes that people often see them. And who knows, maybe some of them might become a scream.
I believe you're going my way. Matt Patrick, an ordinary animation critic, hoping for some Addams fun. He did not enjoy it. It was a detour in Cyber-Wonderland After Dark.
They're all together, the Addams Family.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.